low post, mid post, high post, post game sports.
Yo, 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 we are live. We live. You dig? Left my East Coast shorty, the Bentley, the twirl. My West Coast shorty pushed the Chrome 740, rocking red man and naughty. Oh, where my kitty cat, half a brick of yay, in her bra where her titties at. Moss
Let's get it
B.
in the building. I see you. I see you, Biggie, spitting fluently as he's done throughout his time, man. It's good to see you this evening, Post, man. I
Man, it's good
appreciate
to
it.
be seen, man. You know, the headphones are on fire this time around, Moss. We got a great show for the people. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel. We here tonight playing Respect It or Check It. And I got my main man, Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10. How you feeling tonight, homie?
Man, I'm feeling blessed, thankful. It's been a day, but man, when I get in that group text that we have, man, it makes everything like vanish, get them laughs going, get that blood rushing, and we in the building. And as you came in on the 1-2s with one of the greatest in the game that ever touched the mic, as many would arguably say, man, I'm ready to get into what we've been doing, and it's good to be here from the start of a series that you have brought to the forefront, and you really be having me in my encyclopedia, in my notebook, tapping in heavily because this is something special. And it's good to see you as well.
I appreciate that, brother. This is definitely a banger, as one take Zay would say, man. And we do it for the people, man. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. We got a great show tonight, and we gonna kick it off right. I'm gonna start with the NBA, bro. The NBA MVP race is like none other. Like I'm excited to see how these guys finish and where they finish and who's gonna win the NBA MVP. So
Yes.
right off the barrel, brother, the NBA MVP race is the closest in recent memory. Respect it or check it.
You got Wemby, you got Shot, you got Luca, you got Ant-Man, you had Cade, but he has an injury. But I mean, I gotta respect it, man. I'm not checking this one at all. I'm gonna respect it because it seemed like statistics is really getting to where Luca's putting on a performance you've only seen, I think, himself do in this Laker color and this gold, and what Wemby's doing in San Antonio, what Cade was doing in Detroit, bringing that franchise back to. And then you also have Shy, in which we've talked about back to back and possible three-peats in times, and we haven't done that in recent times when it comes to NBA, and they've built a powerhouse in OKC. So I'm respecting every bit of this being the closest in recent memory for myself. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 100% on that, my brother. I can't agree more. I have to respect this. I haven't seen an MVP race quite like this. Nikola Jokic, Shea Gilders Alexander, Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, and if Cade was healthy, you would have to put Cade in there too, man. I don't know who to give it to right now, Moscow. I gotta respect it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all tell us in the comments who should win MVP because your boy post game don't know on this one, and
It's
that's rare for me to say. Go ahead, Moss.
nah, not to cut you off, and that's the thing because we've been back and forth even within the chat, and it's been a back and forth. Then Joker been popping up. People feel like he haven't been getting enough recognition, but I mean, it's crazy. So much talent, and I think when we try to figure out who's next up, it's not about one single player. Times have changed. I think that's one thing we forgot about. Times has changed. It's changed in the game of basketball and the NBA we see. So we got to look at it as a whole. I think we're looking at multiple faces, not just one face for this league to really blemish and take strides at a different level. Luca, Joker, Wimbayama, Shaw, those are not American players when you think about it. So that's four right off the back. They're not American players. Then you go to Cade. Then you go to Ant Man. Out of this top 10, really right now, how many are American? It's not even 50-50. You know what I mean? So this is I'm a triple respect this post. I'm triple respecting this because this was really my first time thinking of it in that aspect. When you look at who the league is going to go to when Brown passing the torch, the torch has been passed a couple times. I don't think it needs to be passed anymore. I think it just needs to be shown how great the Michael Jordan, the Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, and the LeBron James and everyone's goat we seeing today, how well they've respected the game and their peers surrounding them for the game to be where it's at now.
No doubt about that. Private 09Z, he says, stepsis jealous because I have a new girlfriend. Any advice out there? Man, listen, homie, I appreciate you being in here, but
Man,
this is a sports channel. We talk sports in here, but if I gotta say something, I'm gonna say, who cares about anybody else's feelings? Because they gonna have an opinion anyway. But moving on, Mossberg,
yes, sir.
the Los Angeles Lakers are serious title threats. Respect it or check it. Now, keep in mind, bro, the Lakers are 9-1 their last 10 games. Salute to the Spurs, they 10-0. But Luka Doncic has been really hot. He's been on fire. So are you gonna respect or check this, homie?
I'm a man. Me being a fan of the game, this taking me back to when the Mamba, rest in peace, was averaging 40 in a month post. On this, I'm checking it because I just don't know, man. I honestly don't know because you still got a Houston Rockets team. And I feel if anybody play this Houston Rockets team in a 7-game series, they're a threat. You still got Minnesota out there. I think Minnesota, Anthony Edwards healthy is more of a title threat than the Lakers. That's just my opinion. But I'm going to check it because I got to see a little more to believe a lot more when it comes to these Los Angeles Lakers. Nothing against what they're doing. They're playing some great basketball. Many people will respect it. But when it comes to the playoffs, you're going to need more than Luka and LeBron shooting that ball and putting them points in the ball, in the bucket to get to a championship. I'm going to just say that.
Man, listen, as much as I want to respect this, I'm going to check it, homie. And this has come from a guy who's been a Laker fan, a diehard Laker fan from day one, off the barrel. Listen, man, the West is tough. You got Denver, you got San Antonio, you got the Thunder, and you just mentioned the Houston Rockets, who are one of the sleeper teams when it comes to the playoffs. I as much as I hate to say it, Moss, I gotta check this. I don't think the Lakers play tough enough defense to win the NBA, to get out the West, let alone win the championship. I
Yeah.
think you got to be a better defensive team than the Lakers are to get out the West. But if one man could put a team on his back and say, "Let me take you there," it got to be Luka.
Yeah.
We seen it. We seen what him and Kyrie did in Dallas, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is a team where LeBron James is the third option on the team, right? How many teams can say they got LeBron James as their third option?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, we making it rain tonight, homie. So I gotta check that.
Yes, indeed. Check it, and check it again. I just like you said with that defense, that West is not easy. I think Denver's actually been elevating their game. They're seeming like a more scary team as they get healthy, getting closer to the playoffs. And remember when Denver did their due diligence, winning the West, winning their title, nobody really talked about them. Late season push, health, and just powering through. This Denver team is scary just as much as this Houston team now to me. These latter few weeks going into this end of the season.
No doubt, no doubt. Shout out to my man SCC Shine in the chat. Go subscribe to SCC Shine. He said he checking it.
Ooh,
OKC and Denver over the Lakers.
yes, sir.
He said we've also seen Luca have amazing games, then like be non-effective in others. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Shout out to my man Alphonse Clinton 2907 in the chat. It's all about matchups. We'll see. I agree with that, homie. I agree.
We
Good
appreciate
point.
everyone.
Yes, sir. We really do appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. We working. You
Big
got
work.
anything?
Nah,
Anything
I
on
was
those
just
comments?
Nah, man. Appreciate you tuning in as well. SEC Sean, Alfonso Clinton, 2907. We appreciate you tuning in as well, man. Stay locked in. Leave the comments, man. Let us know what you thought. We're going to be here for a while. We're not going to say grab a Snickers, but definitely grab your coffee, grab your beverages of choice, whatever you may do. We here, and we not doing nothing but sitting down, doing what we do best tonight. So we appreciate this, and I appreciate you tapping in and hitting me up. And I'm glad to be here, post for this. Check it or respect it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know how we do it, man. Nobody do it better, man. We've been on fire lately.
Yes, sir.
But let's move on to the next one. And this kind of piggybacks on your What If Wednesday. Your amazing live you had the last night. The Houston Rockets would have beat the Chicago Bulls in the NBA championship both years in the finals had Michael Jordan not retired. Moss B of Level of Sports 10, respect it or check it.
Man, listen, when you talk about the dream and MJ, wow. I think this is something that still today they both would sit down and have a conversation about and ask, what if we matched up? I'm checking this, man. Like, I gotta check it. This is MJ you talking about. This is the GOAT. Like, I gotta check it. I'm giving Mike one. Now in the second one, they may go a game seven. And you know Mike don't do game sevens. You know what I mean? Like this is when I think this was when both of them were in their prime in different ways, man. Like Mike's airness was different. You know, this was, I believe, after the Portland, you know, bombing on them. So I think Mike was at a whole nother level at this point. But we talking about the dream and man, it's I'm checking it post. We could go for an hour on this one, but I'm gonna check it because I'm MJ and I'm not being biased. I'm gonna just check it and give MJ the first championship to the Bulls. Game seven for championship number two.
Man, this has to be one of the biggest what ifs in sports. Shout out to SEC Sean back in the chat. He said he checking it. No one was beating those Bulls teams in a 7-game series, but
Man,
would have been fun to watch. My man Mossberg, I man, I've had a tough time with this one. I'm checking this. Although I gotta say, like, if anybody could have beat the Bulls in that era,
yeah,
in that run where they were just winning championships and didn't know what game seven was, it would have been the Houston Rockets. It would have
yeah,
been Hakeem, the Dream, Olajuwon, probably the most underrated player in the history of basketball, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He had it all, man. That dude was fun to watch. And then you think about Mario Ellie, Kenny the Jet Smith. They just had a great team surrounding Hakeem in the middle, man. Oh, who was it? Otis Thorpe. They
Otis.
had a heck of a team, and they were beating the Bulls in the regular season.
Yeah.
If any team could have beat those Chicago Bulls in the championship, it would have been Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets. But the reason why I'm checking this is I've learned just by living life, you don't bet against Michael Jordan.
Uh,
Nah, I don't bet against Michael Jordan or Floyd Mayweather. Those are two people I will never bet against when it comes to sports. You got anything on that?
I mean, that's. I think when you talk about this, man, it makes me want to just have a whole stream just on these matchups and really looking at that. Only thing I would say is this: I agree with you. Otis Thorpe being an X factor, Clyde Drexler versus Mike. You thinking of the Mario Ellie versus Scottie Pippen. You know, you got Dennis Rodman out there. You got Luke Longley. You got Kenny the Jet Smith. You got Vernon Maxwell. And to hear some of the stories that he's been unleashing today about how they was getting down back in the day and going out and hooping and playing this basketball, man, that would have been probably the craziest, most watched series in finals history. Just my opinion. You talking about no disrespect to Elijah Wan. And I think for those people who know basketball would understand what I'm about to say. You know, think of Elijah Wan's height. Think of MJ's height. Think of the Len Bias we was never graced, rest in peace, to see in basketball. This is like wanting to see Len Bias play in the NBA, but seeing Elijah Wan play in the NBA, but not having that championship game against Jordan. Like, what if, like, I'm checking this all the way. Like, this is just great talk when you talk about that Rockets team. Like, they really made basketball look different. The physical nature, team ball, chemistry, coaching, Rudy T, got to get him his props and the way he handled them guys and coach. So not to mention Robert Horry, man. Like the Rockets had a low, and didn't Pippen leave and go to Houston not soon after? So it's a lot of questions, within, them couple of years that we could have possibly seen that finals matchup, trades, whatnot. But yeah, I'm checking it gracefully.
Shout out to SEC Shine. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to SEC Shine. He's back in the chat. He said, no doubt, post. That was the matchup we never got. Mike versus the Dream. 100%. 100%. 100%.
Yes, sir.
Rocket Red Man and Naughty. Oh, where my kitty cat. Half a brick. Yay.
Yes,
Bro.
sir. We going in tonight, ladies and gentlemen, man. Respect the post, respect it or check it. And I said respect it. And that's in Allah to what he's doing and how he's coming through. That's that. Y'all know where y'all from. Y'all know what the respect it is, man. We just in the Midwest doing what we do, man. We call it cooking up and doing what we do best, man. Loving it. And we not talking about Mickey D's, but I love the coffee.
Hey man, rest in peace to the late great Biggie Smalls, man. Nobody had flow like him.
Yes, indeed.
Moss, Fernando Mendoza had his pro day, man. And a lot of people think he solidified being the first pick of the draft. Of course, we get news today the Oakland Raiders are going to sign Kirk Cousins. But they said he completed 53 of 56 passes in 20 minutes in front of 32 team scouted workout. Fernando Mendoza will be an elite quarterback in the NFL. Respect it or check it. Before you do that, homie, hold on, man. I got the homie, the man with the master plan, Rob of WTP Sports Dudes. How you doing tonight, homie?
Man, I'm feeling tired, brother. What I did fast, man. I should not have done that. But I'm glad to be here this evening to join my brothers on tonight's show. Good to be here.
Yes, sir, man. We glad you made it. So, Moss, man, let's get back to it. Fernando Mendoza would be an elite quarterback in the NFL. Respected or check it?
I don't. Y'all gonna pass the mic to me on Fernando Mendoza? I think a lot of people know. 53 and 56. I'm gonna give you your props. It's pro day. I believe when you're doing pro day, you at home in your backyard. It's expected. Coming off the national championship season, I'm checking this, man. My guy is
Mm.
Todd. You talking elite quarterback in the NFL. Elite quarterback in the NFL. If you see him elite, I get the signing of Kirk to groom him, to give him some understanding, get him started. But we've seen a lot of elite quarterbacks not have no backup, get thrown in the fire, and be elite. So me, I'm checking it respectably. That's just
Okay.
my opinion.
All right, all right. I ain't mad at you, Moss. Ron, what you are Fernando Mendoza will be an elite quarterback in the NFL. Are you respecting this or you checking this?
I'm checking it for sure. I mean, elite. I mean, I think he can be good. I think he can be a game managing quarterback in the NFL. But elite. I mean, according to my definition, no, he's not going to be elite, but he's going to be a solid enough quarterback in the NFL to be there for possibly 10 plus years. But elite, nah, I'm checking that.
I definitely agree with y'all on this one. Fernando Mendoza has a chance to be really good. He's at an organization with Tom Brady. They got a heck of a running back he can turn around and hand the ball off to. I think they building that roster for in his likeness to, what word I'm looking for? I guess expose his strengths and lean on his strengths.
Yeah.
But I don't think elite is in the cards for Fernando Mendoza. Not quite yet. I think he'll be very good, but elite, only so many players reach that elite level. Anything else y'all got on this?
I mean, he come into a conference where, I mean, if you think about the conference, he's coming in where you got injury to a few quarterbacks. That's already elite. One of them we speak on GOAT status already, and Mahomes. We know what Bo Nix is doing in Denver. So when you speak of the Raiders, can he come in with what he has in Oakland, having that running back, having that tight end, having a receiver he could get the ball to? I think, like you said, he's coming in to them grooming him around the right players he needs to begin and what some expects to be a great campaign throughout his NFL career. I'm not against it, but when you speak on certain things as him being elite, things like that, if this was Ty Simpson, I would say yes. I feel he could be that because he's still young. He's still, I don't know, it's just me. But that's all I would say on that. I think he'll be around a great offense to get him started, but elite is going to be tough in the AFC West with Mahomes and Knicks out there already.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Let's move on, fellas. We got the 2020, and I'm going to start with you on this one, Rob. The 2026 NFL Draft will break the record for most offensive linemen being taken in the first, or excuse me, in the first round with 9. You respecting this or checking it?
I'm
Let's
respecting it.
before you go, let's look at some guys who could possibly win that first round, Rob. You got Monroe Freeland, Caleb Lemieux, Francis Malgoa, Blake Miller from Clemson, Spencer Fano, Max. I'm not even going to try to say his last name from Arizona State.
Yeah.
You got the big offensive lineman from Penn State. You got Caden Proctor and Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon, and possibly Connor Lew from Auburn. So let me ask you again. The 2026 NFL draft will break the record for the most offensive linemen taken in the first round with 9. You respecting or checking it?
I'm respecting it. This is one of those drafts that is not a whole lot of quarterbacks, which helps the offensive linemen out to get drafted in this first round. Even though this draft has a lot of really, really talented players on the defensive side of the ball, a couple of wide receivers, it's not really running back heavy either. So I think maybe two, possibly three running backs might go in the first round. It's one of those drafts where it's going to be a lineman draft in my opinion. The first 32 picks or nine of them could easily be offensive linemen because I just don't feel like there's enough positions out there that you would normally get in a draft, like with the quarterback position, possibly getting 3 to 4 running backs in that draft, along with some receivers and some defensive ends and stuff like that. I just think this is a good draft for linemen to break that record.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I like it, man. Mossberg, the 2026 NFL draft will break the record for most offensive linemen taken in the first round with 9. Respect it or check it, homie.
I'm respecting it also. The reason I respect it, and I had thought about this a lot. I actually thought about it back to even Joe Burrow's rookie season. He's been hurt a lot. If we think of the quarterbacks that's been hurt, they've had major injuries. For one, you got these guys that's very athletic, very skilled. They could play multiple positions on this line. So I think that makes your line that much more versatile. That's the reason I'm respecting it, as well as the talent. Like I said, it's going to be a record. I think they're going to break it, and you need to have a protector of that quarterback. One of the highest paid positions in football. They don't just give them that money for no reason. I think this is the year you go get you one that's going to protect the quarterback for the next 10 years. Because if you do that, like we've seen in Mahomes and in the years of Brady, it's propelled them to having a dynasty. Other offensive linemen are wanting to join the team organization, but it opens the floodgates for other players at their respective positions to join as well. And we've seen Hall of Famers like a Randy Moss join the Tom Brady. We've seen things when it comes to Mahomes and Kelsey build something, but the offensive lineman that they had there, I mean, when you think of this, offensive lineman can break away for you, make your offense that much better. Style. It just makes sense. Think it will happen, so I'm gonna respect it for sure.
Well, fellas, I'm checking this. Not because I don't think there's going to be a lot of offensive linemen being taken in the first round. I don't think they're going to break 9. I think they'll be at 8 or 9, and that's how many offensive line. But again, it's close. I can see 9 or 10 going, but I just with the defensive specialists that are in this draft, I think they'll just come up short. Any closing thoughts on that? No.
I would say it's just talent, like both sides of the ball, which is crazy to think about this year's draft when you have some elite players, but then you have both sides of the ball that's really elite overall. And to talk about a record at offensive lineman being selected, but then you have that thought. It might be some defensive players sprinkled in with, you know what I mean, a few offensive players at different positions. So I think it just goes to show the overall parity and how good these players are coming into this draft this year as well, as we've been seeing with the speed and the 40 times.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, my man. And really good breakdown. Let's move on, fellas. Jalen Hurts, quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, will have a similar ending to his career as Russell Wilson. Now, before we answer that, before we respect that or check it, let's look at Russell, or excuse me, Jalen Hurts numbers from last year, right?
Mhm.
3,224 yards, which was 16th in the NFL, 25 touchdowns, that tied for ninth, six interceptions, that tied for eighth, but his QBR was only 55.2. So his numbers, although his numbers, you'll look at his numbers and it doesn't look as bad on paper, but we all know Jalen Hurts didn't play up to that standard last season. So with
Mhm.
that being said, I'm gonna start with you. Who turn is it? Moss?
That's
No. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start with Moss. Jalen Hurts will have a similar ending to his career as Russell Wilson. Respect it or check it.
I, the one thing I'm gonna say is I respect his performance that he's putting on to throw for 25-8, and you already have 4-4. Now it's going to be 5-5, which is the amount of coordinators he had in the years at Philly. That's the part that sucks. I think that hurts the elevation and what we not seeing in Jalen Hurts, and that you know what we want to see we not seeing at times. But I have to. I'm gonna check it. I think the crazy thing, and I'm gonna say this, and you know me, like I said, always got something wild to say. I'm gonna check it, and I'm gonna say I don't even think we seen the best of Jalen Hurts. Think of when Philly won the Super Bowl. Think of when Jalen Hurts, and I mentioned it before on stream, when he sat and he was hitting his cigar in the hallway. He felt the relief. I haven't seen him happy since then, even though he won the Super Bowl. Go watch that year and see how happy he was throughout the turmoil. But I think it's now even more with the situation with the wide receiver Hillman Brown. There's so much more. So I'm gonna check it. I think we've seen the least of Hurts Silla in this NFL.
Rob, you respecting or checking this?
I, I'm checking it, man. Russell Wilson was a quarterback who was able to throw the football, especially the deep ball. And Jalen Hurts, I don't, I, I don't think he's going to have as good a career statistically as Russell Wilson. His ability to throw the football just is not there yet. What makes him so dangerous is the fact that if there is a passing down and he gets out the pocket on teams, he can make plays with his legs. But what we're probably going to start to see is defenses are going to catch up to who Jalen Hurts is, and they're going to force Jalen Hurts to do something that he has not quite yet got good enough at, and that's throwing the football. Even though he's had some weapons around him in the NFL, those windows are only open for a split second. And if you don't have the kind of timing and accuracy to make plays like that, then he's going to have some trouble because teams are eventually, defensive coordinators and defenses are going to eventually be able to nullify his legs because they're going to keep him from being able to throw the football to wide open guys. And I think he's not going to have as good a career as Russell Wilson.
Okay, okay. Fellas, I'm checking this. And the only reason I'm checking this is because I would like to see that Philadelphia Eagle offense under their new offensive coordinator. I want to see if he can fix Jalen Hurts, if he can get that offense back clicking. Because if that offense can get back clicking in Philadelphia, they'll definitely be in contention for the Super Bowl for years to come. So we'll see what happens in Philly. I'm checking this, fellas. Any final thoughts?
Let's
No.
hope. Let's
Go ahead.
hope it's not that Philly team that couldn't get over the hump. Just think, Donovan McNabb and Westbrook. They had some nice receivers, great defense. Now this Eagles defense, we know what it's like. Offense, let's not hope this is a thing that goes on in Philly. If this is not something that hovers over them and keeps them away. They get one, and then we know they're as good, but they can't get over the hump because of this offense, because of the So I'm with you. I do want to see what Hurts could do with this new coordinator. Um, Definitely want to see what Saquon Barkley could do. Coming off that big year, keyed in on him last year. It was kind of a where's Saquon at times, but I want to see this Eagles team be who they are. I think we all know they're a great team. Um, so that's just my final thoughts when it comes to that one.
Yeah, good points, my brother. Let's let's move on to college basketball. Now, before I ask y'all to respect or check this, I want to go through the final four teams' path. And UConn had to beat Furman, UCLA, Michigan State, and Duke to get to where they are now. Illinois beat Penn, VCU, Houston, and Iowa. That's not too shabby. Arizona or Michigan beat Howard, St. Louis, Alabama, and Tennessee. And Arizona beat LIU, Utah State, Arkansas, and Purdue. So, Rob, I'm starting with you on this one. Out of the final four teams, UConn has had the toughest road to the final four. Respect it or check it.
Yeah, I'm respecting that all day, man. When you think about the fact that even though they had a close game and they probably they should not have beaten Duke, they still played a really good quality UCLA team who was playing some really good basketball late in the season. A team that I thought could beat UConn. On one of my brackets, I even had them beating UConn. And then you beat a very gritty Michigan State team, a team that I thought for sure was going to beat UConn because UConn was not playing the greatest of basketball at the end of the season. Then you come back from 19 points against Duke and beat them, a number one seed. They definitely, and I'm respecting this, they definitely has had the tougher road to get to the Final Four than any of those other teams that are in the Final Four.
No doubt about that, bro. Rob, or excuse me, Moss, out of the final four teams, UConn has had the toughest road to the final four. You respecting it or you checking it?
I'm respecting this big time, man. It was like a Big Ten ACC challenge for them. They took it on, like you said, being down against Duke. I had Duke winning that game. And the one thing that I've noticed with UConn is Clinigan. Coach Hurley really goes and makes sure that Clinigan is out there putting it on the line, but he wants the ball in key moments throughout this tournament. Even when he's not hitting his shot, he continues to go through. And they escaped that, 4-point game against UCLA, an early tough game in the early round. So when you think about this team and UConn, possibility of third national title, 4 years, they've lightweight built the dynasty over there with Hurley. That's something that no one's really, really talking about. So I think you got to be a fool not to respect this and the fact that they just knocked off Duke, which some people really had as favorites along with Arizona to match up in the championship. So to win in a game winner, shout out to my little brother. He loved buzzer beaters. But against his Dukies, I know he was crying that night. Love you, little bro. I had to get that off my chest, man, because I've been thinking about you since that buzzer beater. But I'm respecting this one with UConn for sure.
Yeah, I gotta respect it as well, gentlemen. And y'all said it all. I mean, beating that Duke team in the fashion they beat that team, beating Michigan State, looked like they had Michigan State flustered for most of that game. I gotta respect that. Any closing thoughts? Nope. Let's
Ah,
move on. You got something, Moss?
I was. It made me think about that, man. Can I hit you with a check and a respected on this UConn talk real quick, post?
Talk to me.
Can UConn get their third title in 4 years.
I'm respecting that. Any of these teams can win it all, even though I heavily favor the Arizona and Michigan side. I know when you make a run like this in a tournament like March Madness, man, you can beat anybody. Any given night, one of those teams can beat any other team that's there. So I'm respecting the hell out of that. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna start with you on this one, Moss. This year's Michigan team is the best team in program history. Respect it or check it.
As Jalen Rose said, even me and Unc, as we sat and we watched some great basketball. Unc, it was good seeing you and watching some of that basketball this weekend. It had me ready to get out there, intense in the game. And I heard them words you were saying. So we looking for a 3-point shooter. Me and Zay, we gonna keep that on the low though for this summer tournament. But I wanna. I'm checking this. You got to win a title. I respect Lindenborg, everything that this Michigan team is doing. They're going, they're moving, they're looking very good to be one of the top, one of the greatest in their program history. But to battle with that team of Robinson and so many more, they got to win the title. And you got to win that title in a certain way. Just my opinion, as Jalen Rose said.
You on mute? You on mute, post?
My bad, draw. Let's welcome to the show, to the podcast. One Take Say of the One Take Say a podcast. How you doing tonight, homie?
What up with y'all? Hey man, listen. I be ready for post game show. I love these Thursday night shows, man. I had to run home on my break just to charge my phone just so I could hop on real quick. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that, dog, man. I'm gonna come to you on this one, man. This year's Michigan team is the best team in program history. Respect it or check it.
Man, this team is a nice team, but I gotta check it, man. I definitely got to check it. You got the Fab Five, then they competing with that Mitch McGarry, Trey Burke led team with Nick Staukis and Hardaway Jr. I'm gonna have to check it, man. But it ain't nothing wrong with being top three, top five. We ain't slighting them and saying that they ain't like that. They like that. But them other teams was crazy, man. But look, they still got a chance to go down in history because neither one of them teams won it all. So you can still, you know what I mean, enter your name into the echelon of being the best team because they ain't win it all. So they still got a chance. They still playing for their hopes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Rob, you respecting or checking this? This year's Michigan team is the best team in program history.
Man, I'm checking that, man. Listen, let me tell you something. That Fab Five, bro, that team right there, bro, has to be the best Michigan team of all times. I respect that team so much that when they had their protests going on about the long baggy shorts and they cut their hair bald, everybody in the hood rocked bald heads for the whole entire summer. Could you imagine me with a bald head, bro? I had a bald head for the whole summer. And guess what the ladies were saying? Please grow your hair back. Please grow your hair back, man. Do not rock that bald head. I said, ladies, y'all, I got to get with y'all later on. We in protest mode right now. But that 5-5, they the best of all times in Michigan history, in my opinion.
Yeah, fellas, I'm with y'all on this one. I gotta check this because to me, they gotta win a national championship. To me, they gotta get to the national championship. I mean, Jalen Rose said it best, man. You think about those teams with Glenn Rice. You think about those teams led by John Beeline. Those were some exciting teams. I think Zay spoke on them. The Fab Five, man, that's the culture. That's the culture. So I love this Michigan team. I think they have the ability to win it all and go down as one of the best Michigan teams. But I gotta check this, man. I don't think they're the best. Any closing thoughts on this, fellas?
What if Michigan came out with them baggy shorts like the Fab Five and some of them Nikes that Rose had back in the day with the squad? If you hearing this out there, get the team that Final Four hook up, Jay Rose. Get them right with the baggy shorts and them throwback Nikes, just for the occasion and possibly more. I'm just saying, you never know what could happen, man.
Hey, Moss, that's a big ass, man. These little new scoop cats don't know how to play in baggy shorts, bro. They be dribbling the ball out of bounds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt about that, man. Well, let's switch over to the women's side of the Final Four, my guys. And we got some exciting news. Well, not so exciting for Iowa State fans. Big Audie Crooks enters the transfer portal. It's going to be
Mm.
really exciting to see what team she goes to. Hopefully, she goes to a team where she can improve on defense, because if that girl starts playing defense and rebounds the ball a little better, can't nobody stop her in that post.
Yeah.
But the women's side of the bracket, all number one seeds making it to the Final Four is a good thing for women's college basketball. Rob, respect it or check it.
I'm gonna say, oh man, this is a tough one, bro. I'm gonna say check it. I'm gonna say check it because I feel like in the game you want to get some other teams who are not predicted to be the best teams in the tournament in the Final Four, so it can show a little bit more parity, maybe. But man, these four teams are so daggone good, man. It's pretty hard for any of those two seeds, three seeds, four seeds, let alone 15, 16 winning one of these games, man, against them. So I'm gonna check it only because I feel like if you want to have parity in the women's game, you gotta have a two or three or four seed in this Final Four every year.
Mm.
Mossberg, you respecting or checking this?
it's it was a tough one for me to look at. Um, I had thoughts of both. I was I'm going respect it. The reason I respect it, because it's a little bit of both for me. Only the reason I respect it is I think it shows the coaching, what they're bringing into their program, what they're doing at their program as well, with being one seeds and holding on to that one seed and gaining and doing what you do, knocking off whatever you play. I do agree, like Unc said, with being able to see those, two, three seeds, a Cinderella even as well. But I think we're gonna have to see something similar to what AJ to get that a team like a Cinderella in on the women's side, some spectacular players stepping in and going to a small school. But I'm gonna respect it, just showing the stature of how good they are with their program.
One take. All number one seeds making it to the Final Four. Good thing for women's basketball. Respect it or check it.
Yeah, I'm gonna respect it too. I just think like we seen some fight out of different seeds this year, but I gotta respect it too because everybody already know Juju would have had a number one seed, and I would have expected Juju to be there. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, and for the Juju Watkins fans out there, USC is bringing in the number one player in the whole country on the women's side. We see what they have in Jazzy Davison or Davis. And then you add that with Juju Watkins. USC is going to be downright scary next season.
Hey, they should add all the crooks.
I was just about to say that. Say, what if they added Audi?
They probably don't lose a game.
Man,
They probably don't lose a game. I got to respect this, fellas. I mean, we know UConn and South Carolina are probably the premier programs, but Texas and UCLA, they aren't always there, right? So I don't mind seeing number one. I don't mind seeing all four number one seeds, so long as we got a little mixture of teams who aren't normally there. Like Zay said, USC probably would have been there. I don't mind seeing UConn and South Carolina be there every year because they earn it. They get the best players, they got the best coaches, and they play the best basketball. So I'm gonna respect this, fellas. Any closing thoughts on this?
I would be like Unc said, like I just think like Texas women's basketball has been good, but these last few years they've been great. You're not used to, like you said, seeing Texas at this in this position in the Final Four, but they've been there consistent these last few years, as we've seen UCLA. So that's why I think seeing these four teams, I'm respecting it because it hasn't been easy. The road and the games played at times to get to this position for all these teams. I think that's why I respect it and that challenge and what they've been able to continue to build in their systems to keep this status. That's just what it is for me with that.
Cool, cool. Let's move on, fellas. One take, Zay. I'm gonna start with you on this one. Texas will be the team we thought they were last season, this season. Respect it or check it.
Man, y'all know Maddie Booker, dog. Hey, this was
No,
so
no, no,
fire.
no, 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 no. Football. I'm sorry. We
Oh,
transitioned to
okay.
football. We
I
transitioned to college football.
had, hey, hey, we transitioning over to the college football world. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna respect it, man. I was telling Rob this, man. It was something that switched in what I seen with Arch Manning last season, late in the year, where he just stopped caring, bro. And I feel like as a quarterback, as the lead dude, you can't be out there playing on your tippy toes, bro. Sometimes you just got to play dangerous. And I start seeing him play dangerous. So, you know, with Coleman in there, they got two really good backs. Really, we know Texas is gonna have a good defense pretty much year in year out. They just got to get that. It's going to come down to that offensive line. I think they're going to figure it out, though, because all them dudes, which I got three or four dudes back on that offensive line, more reps, more experience. They got the kid out of Wake Forest. As long as that offensive line gel, they should be straight, bro. I definitely expect Texas to be back in the playoff this year, though. But I don't expect them to beat my Buckeyes, though. But they're going to be in the playoffs, dog.
I can dig it. Moss B. Texas will be the team we thought they were last season, this season. You respecting or checking it?
I'm respecting this, man. Full throttle. Um, you're talking about that offensive line average, I believe, Unc of 6'7", if I'm not mistaken, on that offensive front now. Defense with the additions they added through the portal. Like Zay said, Arch, he was a different guy in them latter stages of the season. And then that game against Michigan, I seen a different guy as well. That game said enough for me looking forward to what he'll do this season. I think he's not only hit the weight room, hit the study table, he's put everybody outside the room and sat in a room and sat, watched film, and done what he needed to do to get himself together because it's a lot of expectations in Texas. And I'm respecting this one because, like I said, I think the transfer portal, knowing what they already brought back, and I want to see this kid, Terry the Third. That's who I'm looking forward to seeing this year, along with Arch Manning and Bow straight out of Ohio. I'm looking forward to see what they do with this Texas team because I think those guys could be elite this year within the first few games.
Rob, Texas will be the team we thought they were last season, this season. Respect it or check it.
Yeah, I'm respecting it as well. I mean, if you look at that Texas team last year, they did not meet the standard what we thought they was going to be. With a new renewed Arch Manning, the way you seen him play the last part of the season and how he commanded that team and was making plays for them, I think you'll probably see that from the start of the season, even though they got a really tough schedule in terms of playing 9 games in the SEC, and then you got to play the Ohio State Buckeyes on top of that. That's a pretty tough and tall task, but I think he's prepared for that now because of what he went through. I think they fixed the offensive line issues. They got 3 returning starters, along with the fact that they brought in some guys in the portal who has played a lot of football. So the offensive line should be even better than it was last year. And I think this year the running backs are better than what they had last year. Um, I love Trey Wisner to death, but I just think that he started off the season injured. And this year, the 2 guys that are coming there with Hollywood Smothers and Raleek Brown, they're going to be really, really tough, man, on teams because of the fact that they can catch the ball out of the backfield, which really allows Steve Sarkisian to be able to open up his playbook. Plus, you got the wide receivers that you need. As long as they stay healthy, I'm definitely respecting this.
Yeah, that's good stuff, fellas. I'm respecting this as well, and I should have let you go last, Rob. I'm tripping. I'm getting better at this. Bear with me. But I'm respecting this as well. I think Texas came into last season with a tremendous amount of hype. And I mean, there was nothing that would tell us otherwise. I think they had the roster, they had the coaching, they had a quarterback with the name, with the talent. But oftentimes, what happens in college sports, a team is a year ahead of the hype. So in Texas's case, I think everybody expected them to come in #1 team in the country last season. I think they're looking like that team this season. And another thing is that they're coming into the season with a lot of momentum. You got to think after the loss to Florida at Florida, they ran off what 7 out of 8, with their only loss being to Georgia, the #5 team in the country, with victories over Michigan, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt. So I'm respecting this, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that Texas team this season. Any more thoughts on this, gentlemen?
We gonna mess them up.
I'm glad you said that, but I'm gonna come to you last on this one. I'm gonna start with Rob on this one. Rob, the freak Jeremiah Smith will sweep all major wide receiver awards this season, this coming season, win the Heisman and a national championship. Respect it or check it.
I'm gonna have to check it, man. Only because of the last two. I don't think he'll win the Heisman, and I don't think the Buckeyes are going to win the national championship. But sweeping all the wide receiver awards, he deserves it. He deserved to win them all the last 2 years. So they gotta give it to him this year. I don't care if he don't have the stats. You gotta give it to him because you gotta give this man his due because of what he's done previously. And I know people don't like to hear that. It's all about what you did this year, but he done got robbed 2 years in a row, in my opinion. So I think that we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to check this only because I don't think he'll win the Heisman because you got to put up some really gaudy numbers to win the Heisman, and I don't think at the wide receiver position, and I don't think Ohio State plays are going to play like that. Ohio State is one of those teams. They're going to make sure all their talented players get their touches. I don't see him getting Devontae Smith numbers to win the Heisman. And if he does, then that means his quarterback is balling out of control too. So he'll probably be there to take some votes away from him. As far as the national championship is concerned, I think the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to be one of the top 5 teams in the country, but I don't think they're going to win the national championship because there's a team that I got on my chest that I think is going to win the national title.
Okay. Okay, so he checking it. Moss B. Jeremiah Smith will sweep all major wide receiver awards this coming season. Win the Heisman and a national championship. You respecting or checking this?
Man, shout out to Smitty from O Block, man. They definitely have gotten him a couple years on some of these awards. I'm checking it. respectably, respectively, because you got Malachi Tony, and when you talk about Heisman, like Unc said, those are tough numbers to feed. And when Ohio State has Smith, and now you got another lethal weapon in Henry, it's hard to reach those type of numbers at a Heisman. But I definitely think he can win every other award. It's just going to be tough to get that Heisman. And I just got to check it. I want to respect it. I'm going to check it on the strength that it's hard to really see those numbers knowing how they have that wide receiver packages. You know, they have so many great wide receivers as we look at them as wide receiver you. So it's tough to get that one player getting all those numbers. We know what type of player he is, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, we definitely know what type of player he is, fellas. I mean, I'm only checking this because the thing I have question on is the national championship, but it might be more so the Heisman because there's so many great quarterbacks out there this upcoming seasons, and we know how much the voters tend to favor the quarterback. Smitty would have to put up some out of this world type numbers to win the Heisman. So I'm gonna check this one. But if it's one guy who can accomplish those things, it is Jeremiah Smith. One take Zay. Jeremiah Smith will sweep all major wide receiver awards this coming season, win the Heisman and a Natty. Respect it or check it.
First, let me start by saying, Rob, you gonna say 2 out of the 3 not being at like you was gonna check it all the way. It wasn't even no closeness of being respecting it. Just keep it there, man. Hey, man. But I'm gonna check it, man. I'm gonna check it, man. Just off the based off the points that post game said, bro. I think it's gonna be so many outstanding quarterbacks this year. And we already know quarterback play reigns supreme. And it's another thing too. I don't think the media necessarily likes Ohio State guys when it comes to Heisman voting. I've always felt like that. Um, but this is one thing that's going to play on his side. That schedule is brutal. And we seen what we looked like when we didn't have him last year. I just want to say that, you know. So maybe they can have some thoughts of the past when they looking at these games next year, you know, and hopefully he stay healthy too, and he don't miss no time to where they can see the difference. But that is something that happened in the past where we didn't look like ourselves without him.
Moss, you want to touch on that comment, man?
Yeah, man. Man, respectively, man. Smitty from O Block, we know what he is, man. He's a gem. GMs is waiting for him to say, I'm going NFL draft. That's what they waiting for. For me, I would love to see, you know, in a time in the era, Unc know, I'm sure you know, even one take Zay know when like the Peter Wards, the Percy Harvins, man, let this kid go. Let him go be great. Let him get that ball on a punt return because he's not getting that many touches. To where guess what? That's going to push that Heisman. You know, seeing his total skill, not just running and catching the ball, even though we know how great he is. I want to see him just catch a punt or catch a kickoff and go. That's just a dream, not a dream, but just something I want to see because that's what we looked forward to seeing back in the day. And we was able to see some of the great wide receivers be on special teams, getting kick returns and punt returns, and that pushed them to that Heisman voting or candidacy or even sweeping in those rewards respectively. So just my thoughts. I would love to see it. And if he gets 1,600, I think he can sweep all the awards.
Y'all got anything to that?
But the thing that I'm wondering about now, this is his NFL eligibility year. I think he doesn't have to do anything else for any of the NFL teams to draft him. He don't got to do nothing else. Every NFL team that's going to be there on the board is going to want to draft Jeremiah Smith. I'm wondering if Ohio State, because they're planning on playing 15, 16 games this year, because they expect to be in the national championship game or close to it. Are they going to have games where they know that they can outdo the team that they're playing and they might not play Smitty as much to keep him healthy down the stretch or whatnot? I wonder if he's going to be able to get the numbers that he needs to get to win a Heisman, knowing that Ohio State can probably beat those teams without Smitty. I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that. Probably not, because he's not that kind of a player. He wants to be out there on the field with his boys. But I'm wondering if the coaches might go in that direction, especially in certain games where they know that they don't need him to beat the team that they're facing.
Well, Cortez like to rotate. So that's one thing we know and we like.
There's some really interesting points y'all made, man, and I know y'all all excited. The spring games are coming. They're right around the corner, and I definitely can't wait to get back into some college football talks with y'all. But I got one last respect it or check it. And if you watching, if you listening, we encourage you to hit the like button, share the video. It helps us get our videos out to as many people as possible. You're only doing a good thing by hitting the like button. Don't be a player hater, participate. Last question on the docket, and I'm gonna come to Moss B on this one. I'm gonna come to Moss first on this one. Kirk Signetti of the Indiana Hoosiers is the best coach in college football currently. Respect it or check it.
Check it. Come on, man. I'm not gonna say I respect everything Kurt's doing. Great coach. He's up there. I'm still going by the wayside over in Georgia. Until he goes, he's still the man right now. You win back to back championships in this era, you still at the top. Now, if Indiana win back to back championships, that's going to be tough. But I'm not giving him overall coach right now in college football currently. I respect what he's doing. He's building something. But currently, nah, just my opinion. I'm going to check it.
Robs, Kirk Signetti is the best coach in college football currently. Respect it or check it.
Yeah, I'm checking it. He just doesn't have enough time up under his belt to be considered the best college football coach currently. I think what he's done has been phenomenal. If he can continue that for the next maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years, then we'll be coming back to revisit this question, and my answer will be respected. But right now, I'm checking it just because he just hasn't had enough time up under his belt yet at Indiana or at any other school.
One take. Kirk Signetti is the best coach in college football currently. Respect it or check it.
Yeah, I gotta check it. And it ain't even because of Kirby or Ryan Day. It's because Bill Belichick is in college football. That's the greatest of all time. You know what I mean?
Okay, so everybody checking this. I'm checking this. I just think he needs more time. Like, if he repeats, I think the question is over. You know, but it's something I want to ask y'all. Do y'all think that people or the media are not giving the Hoosiers enough respect coming into this season? What you got on that, Rob?
Uh, possibly because I mean they're losing a lot of players, but they have hit that portal really hard. Is he going to be able to take those players that he's getting in the portal and have them duplicate what Indiana did the year before? And I think when we watched the Indiana team the year before, we knew that once they played a really good football team, they were going to get beat down, and they did when they played Ohio State. But last year, that in the second year in that system, those players were really, really good. They were really veteran. Um, yeah, they're probably not getting as much respect. But then you think about the teams that they are giving the respect to, those teams are going to be, man, they're going to be out of this world.
Yeah, no, facts, man. Facts. Or Moss B, what you got? You think they being disrespected heading into the season?
I would say I agree totally. Yes. I think it's in the same way. I was going to go back to that same thing of year one. Like you said, they go up against a powerhouse. We know they're going to lose. Last year, we was ready for it. We wanted to see it. Would they win or would they lose? And at the end of the season, we seen they became national champions. Will year three be a hangover, or will year three be showing that, oh, it's just a portal? I lost a lot of players, and wait till that following year four. Is it going to be the even versus odd years in Signetti's career at Indiana? That's going to be a question as well. So I'm looking at it as in they're being disrespected coming in. But for me, I just want to see what they're going to do for year three. Is it going to carry over, or are they going to have that championship pedigree still with these players coming in from the portal as well? So definitely a great question.
One take, what you got on that, man? You think the Hoosiers are being disrespected headed into this upcoming season?
Nah, man, I think it's enough love and hate on both sides of the spectrum for them. One thing that's hard to do in sports is get a whole bunch of new players and have them mesh in a short period of time and really go win a championship. But I think they enter the year in the top 10 or 15, which is respectable because that means people mostly view you as a playoff team. And if you get into the playoffs, shit, you got a chance to win it all. So it's your play on the field. So I think they right where they need to be. Now, one way you can shut everybody up is just to beat everybody you play. So you control your own destiny. You 0-0 right now. So ain't nobody can say nothing to you right now. So we'll see what happens. But like Moss was saying, you know, or I think it might have been Rob, or it was probably both of them. But they came in last year and they had a lot of them guys return. This year is a whole new bunch. We're gonna see how well Curcinetti coached this year. Because it ain't nothing like you already got your installs in and everybody know the program. You teaching a whole new group of dudes the whole system. So we're gonna see what happens.
Any closing thoughts, fellas?
I would say that's the get to it. I think for him to be that college football coach right now, to be on that pedestal, you honestly got to take this team not just to the playoff. You got to play in that national championship game to win it all and win that game to be currently considered that coach. You got to go back to back, and that'll signify year three. Oh, I'm not just a coach. I'm that coach. I can get these guys in this portal that want to come to play and turn this program around based on the guys I have here and the coaching staff and things that the Signetti way. So is that the guy? As they say, that Signetti's my guy. So that'll be something to determine.
Yeah. I think teams always want to win every game that they go play. But this Indiana team is going to have a different kind of target on their back next season. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Great points, fellas. And fellas, man, I appreciate y'all joining me tonight. We always have a blast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. We out of here. Peace.
Low post, mid post, high post. Post game sports.